Harriet Beecher Stowe. Let's talk about her for a moment. How she impacted everything about the Civil War in 1852. Harriet Beecher Stowe was one of the famous women that supported and helped free the slaves in the Civil War. She wrote the book, the famous book, and published it, Uncle Tom's Cabin. This book here was one of the best-selling books and now one of the most famous books now to this day in history, in American history, about the Civil War and how that the slaves feel and how their rights are being people, not just objects. She was born in Litchfield, and as I said, wrote the famous book Thomas Cabin, in which the book made history due to the fact that how she felt about the slavery, as I was saying before. Now, this book also helped with the different problems. She explained in this book on how we as society should be able to solve problems like slavery and things from domestic and international. This is what she did. Okay, hold on. Now, what if she didn't write this book? What if she didn't write the book? Uncle Tom's Cabin. What if she never wrote that book? She's still an author, but what she did, she maybe wrote a cookbook. Now, she's a common housewife for my alternate history. And, she just wanted to stay away from blacks and minority, just like most people do back in the day for slavery. Would she still be famous? She probably would have been still famous. I mean, there's a lot of people do really make some good cookbooks nowadays now. But now that she writes and she really good cookbook, how about she make some homemade pies from scratch, or how to make fresh loaf of bread from scratch, from every detail, all the way from making the dough and all. Now, after all the recipes that she knows, she makes this cookbook. Now, do you think that this cookbook will still be famous today? Probably so, but maybe not. Would we be sitting on shelf stills? Maybe that, so maybe we will, maybe not. As I'm looking through her book, and I have read the book is actually really, really good. And so, the alternate ending, the alternate history of this is that would she be famous for making a cookbook instead of a book about how to solve tough situations as slavery or conflict in the household or in domestic territory within any house or anything dealing with, say, the White House or the presidency or the Congress. This is what happens when, no, excuse me. So this book, it was written to design to end conflict and to try to sort out things that's hard to put on. Now, my references. You can be able to find, find things on, Harriet Beecher Stowe at the Harriet Beecher Store Center. The link is here. Everything's good. And how the Civil War, how she helped and everything for that. So as they say, this is end of my video. I wish it can be better, but this is the first time I'm doing this. But this is Equan Walker signing off.